What is up, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Podcast Named Deferred. I'm Seven. With me, as always, is my partner in crime, Craig. Man,
good evening.
How's your week been, buddy?
Oh man, got a new car. Had to get a new car.
What'd you get?
Got a 2025 Tucson, Hyundai Tucson.
I had a Santa Fe for a number of years. It did me
That's
quite
what
well.
we had that passed away.
Yeah, we ours lost a fight with a covered parking beam. Amber was driving, of course. But no, it was a good car. Yeah, I don't have anything that's bad to say about Hyundais. Man, we got lots to talk about tonight. All-star lineups just dropped. Had some drama. Monday night's Giants D-backs game. I know you want to talk about that.
Yes, I do.
What's up, Gene? Thanks for dropping in the chat. We appreciate you, sir.
Hey, Gene.
A lot to talk about tonight, but let's go ahead. I want to start with Jeff Passan tweeted out the all-star lineups. Let's dive into it. For the National League, starting catcher Will Smith, Freddie Freeman will be at first. Ketel Marte second. Francisco Lindor will play short. Manny Machado at third. Acuna Jr. In the outfield, along with Kyle Tucker and PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong. Two Cubs in the outfield for the National League this year. And, of course, your DH is Shohei Ohtani. For the American League, we've got Cal Raleigh behind the dish. Big dumper himself, really having a great season. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at first. Gleyber Torres at second. Shortstop is going to be Jason Wilson from the A's. J-Ram at third. And then our outfield for the American League, Judge, Riley Green, Javi Baez, and then Ryan O'Hearn from the Orioles will play as DH for the American League. How do you feel? Just initial reaction on those lineups.
I'm good with it all the way around. All the way around. I'm shocked that Rafael Devers is not wasn't written in from the Giants for the All-Star game. I'm just really shocked. I mean, we spent 25. How much we spend again? $250 million. That's right, $250 million for this guy, and he couldn't get a write-in for the All-Star. I'm just shocked.
I mean, I'm shocked he's actually hitting over 200. And Gene, actually, how is Acuna Jr. starting? That's actually going to lead us into our first thing. Because there was some discussion about whether or not Acuna should be playing in the outfield. He should have gotten a nod. Let's take a look. I drew this up thanks to Baseball Reference for the site, to cite the resource here. So we got, of course, Acuna Jr., PCA, and Kyle Tucker is your outfield. A lot of people saying Juan Soto should have gotten the nod.
No,
which I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I would have gone with. I'm not sure that I would have gone with Soto, but that the 35 games. because obviously he was injured. He didn't come back until he hasn't played a lot of games yet this year. And I feel like it's definitely not enough. Is there anybody else that you can think of in the National League that should have had a shot to take his place?
No.
I mean, honestly, it's hard for me to say when I look at National League teams, like outfield wise, really who are we gonna put out there? Like, let's see, Kepler, Marsh, Schwarber. I mean, there are some other options. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, it is a fan vote, but I'm surprised that Acuna got it over Soto, just because of the fact that it's a fan vote. Now, I'm not saying by any stretch that I think he was the best. The Soto was the best choice, but I mean, you look at like, on the Cardinals, Lars Nootbaar, he's not having a bad season. For 2025, he is hitting where did I see it? He's already got 11 home runs. What is his where did it go? He's only hitting 226 so far this year, but still still raking. I mean, still a very likable guy. I mean, of course, when you look at, there was only one Dodger in the National League lineup. You got Teoscar Hernandez, Andy Pages, and Conforto. I could entertain, like the Dodgers or not, I could entertain arguments on all three of those over Acuna, personally. That the fact he hasn't played a lot of games yet does kind of irritate me. It's James Wood. James Wood's another one. I will say though, my objection on the American League side is, how do you have Jacob Wilson as your shortstop over Bobby Witt Jr.? Bobby Witt Jr. First of all, Bobby Witt Jr. hasn't missed a single game. He has more home runs, more RBIs, more stolen bases. He's hitting 286. How is Bobby Witt Jr. not in the starting lineup for the American League as a shortstop?
Very good question.
Like that to me, that's the biggest snub out of the entire thing. Bobby Witt Jr. should be your starting shortstop. I understand when the dust settles, every team's going to have a representative. I get that. But Bobby Witt Jr. should be your starting shortstop. There is not a shortstop in the American League that is better right now than Bobby Witt Jr.
Well, the fans disagree.
Eugenio Suarez should be starting at third for the National League. I honestly, I don't hate it. Your National League third baseman, Manny Machado, very easy guy to just not like. So I can, I can entertain that argument. It's not a bad thing. And especially Dodger fans and Giants fans, I can see why you guys don't like Manny. It's pardon my French, but he's kind of an asshole.
He is an asshole. That's my English.
He's an asshole. But the Padres fans had such a huge push to put him at third. And I'm not saying he's a bad third baseman, but Suarez is definitely a better. Key, what's up? Thank you for dropping in. Yeah, and I get that he's batting .339, and I'm not trying to minimize that. He is a decent hitter for sure, but as a talented shortstop, if I have to choose any shortstop in the league, I'm choosing Bobby Witt Jr. Right now, there is not a as a whole, there's not a shortstop that's better than Bobby Witt Jr. consistently. Now Jacob Wilson is great, and I'm going to be interested to see what team picks him up at the break, because there's a lot of teams that could use a solid shortstop, and we both know the A's aren't going to hold on to talent like that, because that means they'll have to pay him. And he's only a couple of seasons in. If I remember correctly, he's still, I know he's still on his rookie deal. He's only like, yeah, this is only his second season. But when you look at those numbers, when you look at the numbers, like top to bottom, the biggest stat that Jacob Wilson beats him in is batting average and on base percentage. Bobby Witt Jr. has more home runs, more RBIs, more stolen bases. He's played in more games. His WAR is almost double what Jacob Wilson's is. He's a better shortstop. And yeah, and and it's what he's done this year. Behind the plate, absolutely. He's a great contact hitter. He's not really going to be doing very much on the long ball. He gets on base. But and maybe it's just because I'm such a fan of Bobby Witt Jr. And if and when I get a Royals jersey, it will be a Bobby Witt jersey. But I just, that's honestly, to me, that's the biggest snub by the fans. Now, I'm sure that he'll be the backup. He'll be the second one. He'll play the second half of the All-Star game. Like, he's still going to be there. But he should be the starter.
Think the fans are sending a message maybe to Major League Baseball? Putting an A there, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's the A's. I mean, they have broken ground on their stadium. We're going to see the 2028 season. We will have the Las Vegas A's if they keep that same name. I would be surprised if they rebrand when they move, just to kind of get away from that. And I think there's going to be a lot of resistance when it happens, but I would not be surprised to see the A's rebrand when they go to Vegas. You can't do the Aces. Well, you can't do the Aces because you've got the MLB. Nope. They're the WNBA team. But I don't know. I mean, like, it's hard to say, but something tells me they're going to try and rebrand in some way. I don't know if it's going to be a team name change or maybe a color change. Maybe they change the color scheme from the yellow and green.
Black and red. Ogre chips.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that, yeah, like that's reasonable. And yeah, Acuna over James Wood. No, Acuna should not be a starting outfielder. Like hands down, Acuna Jr. should not be a starting outfielder. And this is one of those things where you're like, is the fan vote really necessary? But then you go back and you realize you can't trust the writers to get it right either. Because they're always going to have their favorites and they're going to snub guys that they don't like or that are mean to the press. Like, it's how do you get it right? Like, that's the question. How do you get it right?
Well, the fans are voting on last year's Acuna, not this year's Acuna. And the fact he was injured, not his fault. So I can see why they voted for him.
Gene, the WNBA team is the Aces. We can't do the Aces. Because that was honestly my first thought, and somebody reminded me that the WNBA team is the Aces. Technically, could you have the same thing across different leagues? Yeah, but then you're having to argue over fonts and advertising and styles and colors and all of that other stuff. And I don't think it works.
Las Vegas Bunny Ranch.
Bunny Ranch, the Las Vegas Bunnies, or what's that other one that's famous? The other one's famous in Nevada, the Alien Cat House, the Las Vegas Aliens.
Yeah.
Then you still got the A, Las Vegas Aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Acuna only played 40 games last year. Gene's right. Like that's, and I think that's the thing that frustrates me about Acuna as a choice. I'm not saying he's a bad outfielder. He hasn't played enough. Like I don't get it. Like, are we gonna put a guy that's only started 3 games this year as the starting pitcher for the All-Star game?
Why not? What the hell?
I mean, the fans would be dumb enough to do that, but I just from a realistic perspective, I just don't like it. Like, it's not reasonable. And maybe at the end of the season we look back, we go, yeah, he's definitely an all-star. Just because of how he finishes the season. But Atlanta, we're going to talk more about Atlanta today, but they have not locked in. And
Nope.
I am confident at this point that Atlanta will not be a playoff team.
I'm getting there.
And Alex, and if Alex Anthopoulos had listened to me, we could have gotten rid of Chris Sale before I had to put him on the 6. And well, screw it. Let's dive into it. If Alex Anthopoulos had listened to me, was it 3 weeks ago, and gotten rid of Chris Sale, they would have gotten something out of him, because now they're not going to get anything. Because
Nope.
Chris Sale just went on the 60-day injured list. He got an injury while trying to field a ball that came back towards the pitcher mound and messed up his ribs. And he's now on the 60-day IL. They were originally saying it was going to be the 15, but they moved him to the 60-day IL. So now, if you're going to try and be a competitive team as the Braves, if you're really going to try and make this push and try to pull off like you did in 2021, you lose one of your pieces that you could have traded away for extra resources.
Yep.
And you now have to go find another starting pitcher, along with the fact that you need a bullpen, which has been their bullpen has been god awful. Their bullpen is why they are struggling as a team.
Yep.
And pitching is going to be at a premium at the deadline. We are going to see pitchers move for far more than they are worth.
Yep.
Because it's going to be a bidding war for the solid pitchers. Like closer, Emmanuel Clase has not had a great season. Somebody will trade the Guardians for him, and they will overpay.
Yep.
Because the bidding war that will be on guys like him is going to be insane. And that's the part that frustrates me about what Alex Anthopoulos did. He is letting his pride get in the way.
Yep.
And
these players won't just be signed just for the postseason. With the upcoming strike, they're going to be signed. They're going to lock them in prior to next year's strike lockout.
Not like you said, a lot of players are going to be signing cheaper deals so that they know they have something on the books and they don't have to wait.
Yep.
And risk whatever changes are going to come from this next CBA negotiation period.
Yep.
And they've lost one of their biggest trade pieces.
Yep.
One of their
they wasted the day of their salvation.
It's and I said when I really was thinking about the Chris Sale trade, where Atlanta could go with this. Detroit was the perfect option.
Yep.
Detroit had the resources that would have helped them with their rebuild and actually made a difference. Their bullpen is decent, so they could have spared a couple of pieces. And now, well, Braves fans, sorry. Alex Anthopoulos let his pride get in the way. And Alex,
reminds me.
Go ahead.
I'm picturing, the Seinfeld episode when George Costanza was going to make all this money and have all these properties if Susan had lived, and he's sitting around the big table with the board of directors, and they're telling him, all these things are going for auction that, had she lived, that'd be yours, and he say, and now none. The Braves are now none.
They really are. Like, this is, and they also had Spencer Swallenbach go on the IL, another pitcher.
Yep.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you're the Braves right now? You're going to keep losing. What little foundation you had, what little chance you had of stretching for a wild card is gone.
Yep.
That quick. And this is one of those times, like, I try to not be an I told you so guy. I really do. Because, it's
Nah, go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and Alex Anthopoulos, I fucking told you so, man. I did. I really did. And I know somebody would say armchair GM. Okay. Well, this armchair GM was right. I guarantee you I can do a better job than him or Brian Cashman. Look at what's going on with the Yankees right now.
Huh.
Like, that's another one we can talk about. The Yankees are absolutely crumbling, man.
Yeah. It's a shame.
And there is it, and I think the reason that it frustrates me is the amount of talent that is on that team. You've got guys like an Austin Wells has played horribly this year. You know who the Yankees could really have used? They had a catcher in their system for a long time that they traded to the Red Sox for pennies. That is raking and absolutely wrecked them in the 2 series that the Red Sox have played the Yankees. Carlos Narvaez would have absolutely helped the Yankees. And then we look at Jazz Chisholm Jr. this year. He's only hitting 240. Yeah, he's hit 14 home runs. He's got an OPS of 833, but he's still only hitting 240. You got Paul Goldschmidt hitting 284. That's great. LeMahieu's only hitting 250, which, I mean, that's better than some. Your third baseman is only hitting 157. Ben Rice is hitting 229. A lot of hope for him going into the season. Your shortstop, which is usually a very important position for the Yankees, Anthony Volpe's only hitting 225. Your best outfielder outside of Judge is Bellinger, and Bellinger's only hitting 268. Dominguez, 253. Trent Grisham, your center fielder. Oh, he's hitting 246. Oh, let's talk about your DH, Giancarlo Stanton. Only hitting 244. Has managed to be worse at DH than Raffy Devers. Are you serious, man? Like, this is, yeah, if you're the Yankees, and you can use some of this too, I feel like you have to blow the whole thing up from the GM through the coaching staff down all the way down. When everything, all the dust settles, you're gonna have Aaron Judge and a bunch of guys he has no idea who they are.
Yep, blow it up.
Blow it up. Maybe you know what? Maybe keep Bellinger. Keep Bellinger. I like Cody Bellinger, and then a Goldschmidt. Give him a walker and put him at first. Leave him at first base. He'll be fine. But if you're the Yankees, you got to blow it up, man. It's they've gotten worked by the Jays the last 2 games. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They actually are they are now sharing the division lead with Toronto. They lost to the Blue Jays 11-9 today. 11-9. Nobody had any expectation for the Jays this year. And they're about to get swept by the Jays not long after losing 5 of 6 to Boston. Do they forget that they have to play each of their division opponents 16 times a year, and that accounts for a decent chunk of their schedule? And if all you're doing is beating Baltimore and you're losing to the other 3 teams, that's, let's see, 48 games.
Not survivable.
It makes it harder. It makes it more difficult. And with the way that this is going, you can no longer just say that this is about Brian Cashman. if you're the Yankees. Somehow they've given him chance after chance after chance. And the coaching staff continually sucks. And that's on Cashman at the end of the day. I'm not saying Aaron Boone is a bad manager, but if you're going to allow him to continue to bring in hitting coaches and pitching coaches that aren't going to get it done, I mean, you should be getting more out of your pitching than just what Nestor Cortez can do.
Blow it up.
Max Fried, really? We're going to rely on 38-year-old Max Fried? I think that's how old he is. You're right. You blow it up because I'm sorry. No, he's 31. I thought he was older for some reason. You got to blow it up. And
we need a sound effect for an explosion.
We do. When I've been having issues with my soundboard. When it comes back, I'm going to have an explosion on it. And I don't know how I keep getting flies in my office. It doesn't sync that bad in here. No, I'm going to have an explosion effect because there is absolutely no reason for these results because the Yankees are going to end up being a wild card team. Jays or Tampa Bay are going to win the division. Probably the Jays. I have a feeling Boston's going to end up on the outside looking in again. I'm not going to be happy about it. But maybe we'll see. Maybe Seattle can fall apart enough that we have a shot because it's really just Seattle and the Angels. The Angels aren't going to be consistent because they don't want to play baseball in October. That's when the weather's good in California. They want to be out surfing. And Carlos Rodon, Anthony Rendon, sorry. Anthony Rendon, the John Daly of baseball. He doesn't want to play baseball in October.
The John Daly baseball most of the time. That's a
am I wrong?
Quote.
Am I wrong?
Quote.
That man has screwed the Angels that have more money than Angels in the outfield replays. He really is my hero because if I could learn how if I could learn to channel his ability to just screw a baseball organization at hundreds of millions of dollars and not play. I mean, look, as much as I love baseball, hundreds of millions of dollars. I would do next to nothing for hundreds of millions of dollars. Somebody was like, hey, we give you hundreds of millions of dollars and we want you to do stuff. But if you don't, you're still going to get the money. Okay.
I would say, who do I got to kill? And I'm okay with it.
I mean, seriously. But anyway,
serious too.
No, it's I don't get how. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But you know what? Let's
we don't get it. They got to go.
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct. So, did you watch the game on Monday when the fan was ejected? Were you watching it?
No, I was working, but I did catch the replay, and yes, Mr. McCaskill, Dave.
So for those of you that don't know, we'll catch you up to speed. Monday night Giants D-backs game. There was a ball that was hit that a D-backs outfielder was going for, that a fan appeared to reach over the wall and catch. Initially, the play was called an out by fan interference. Bob Melvin, which, by the way, real quick, the Giants did pick up the option on Bob Melvin's contract for 2026, so you will have him for another season. Bob Melvin challenged the play because it was clear, the fan didn't reach in front of the outfielder's glove. He just caught it behind it, but he did reach over the wall, according to the way it looked on film. And so they basically treat it like a ground rule double. There's been a lot of stuff throughout baseball history about fan interference. Ask the Cubs how they feel about fan interference. You know what I mean? What'd you see, man?
Well, the difference between the Cubs fan, was it Sean? Was it Sean? I don't remember.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
Steve Bartman. Steve Bartman.
Yeah, that's what.
Steve
Yeah, okay.
Bartman. Okay. The difference between Steve Bartman and Mr. McCaskill is that Barton kept his mouth shut and didn't have any press conferences, didn't have any look at me bullshit. He went away and hid for a long time.
You had to. Like, didn't he
Mr.
have to go into witness
McCaskill has done
protection?
this 3 previous times.
Yeah. Well, and that's
insinuated himself in the game of baseball where he had no business being insinuating at all, and he has no qualms about it whatsoever. And front Lannister, he's a fucking asshole. And why the Diamondbacks didn't kick him out the 2 previous times before this is beyond me.
And I do. The Diamondbacks did ban him for the rest of the season.
Big deal.
And they said that he will be allowed back out in 2026 under the condition that he, that there are some conditions, including he has to agree to the fan code of conduct.
Like sit his ass down in the stands and stay out of the play of games.
Yeah, and ultimately that's what the rule is going to be. And I think that if you're the D-backs, you've got to put a rule in that his seats can't be as close to the wall anymore.
Nope.
He's got to move.
The fucking right field bleachers.
Put him in the there's no. I say he has to go in the upper deck.
Yeah, upper deck bleachers.
Put him in the upper deck because in I've been to Chase Field, so it is stunningly easy because of how that field is built. So, it's an indoor stadium. So you can walk all the way around on the bottom. And you have that back wall where the home run line is, you can see upright, but that's kind of like under the scoreboard. Like it's right there. Yeah, he's got to go in the upper deck. That's if I'm the D-backs, that's one of the conditions. You want season tickets, you want to be allowed back in the stadium, your tickets have to be in the upper deck.
Yep.
And if you are caught sneaking into seats in the lower level, that's it. You're done. You can't come into the stadium anymore. And I can tell you for absolute certainty, they have facial recognition in that stadium. So they know where you are. Yeah. They know where you are every step of the way. And if you get seen going into an area you're not supposed to, they're on you real quick.
Yep.
So it ruins the experience for everybody when you do that. That's the part that frustrates me. You want to say you're a fan. I get it if you're just wanting to get a game ball. In the heat of the moment, you make a mistake. But this guy's done this multiple times.
Yeah. But now because of the publicity, now because of the anger over social media, now the Diamondbacks, you pussies, act on it now. Diamondbacks, my ass, are nothing but gopher snakes, pussies.
One time we're giving you a warning. The second time you're not coming back. The third time shouldn't have happened.
No.
It should not have happened. And that's the part that frustrates me about the scenario. Is I agree with you. The D-back should have done something sooner. And for me, there's a lot of good seats in that stadium. I've sat in every area of that stadium, except that limited row of seats that's right there along the outfield wall.
And I'm not saying this just because I'm a Giants fan. I'm saying because of having the Giants. I mean, if I'm the Dodgers, I'd be pissed also. I mean, fans do not have a right to insinuate themselves in the game of play. Don't do it. Don't do it, and then don't become famous for it too. Just shut the fuck up. Watch the game. Stay out of the way. Dave, what the fuck's your name? Dave McCaskill. Fuck you, man. Fuck you, Dave McCaskill.
No, it disappoints me that it did take so long for Arizona to take action because, and they did escort him out right then for that moment. But if they had handled the situation better after those first two incidents, sorry.
Yeah.
I need to add the extra words in it.
There would have been a
If they'd
third
handled
one.
it correctly, there should not have been a third one.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh, stop it. You've got like 10 minutes to knock that shit off. Like that's the vibes that it sends. And again, it ruins the experience for everybody.
Yeah. So I give no credit whatsoever to the Diamondbacks, the Gopherbacks, whatsoever. No credit whatsoever. Fuck you, Gopherbacks. You should have done this a lot sooner. So double fuck yous to Diamondbacks.
It doesn't surprise me that it's taken this long for Ken Kendricks to actually develop a spine with the situation. He's one of the owners that I absolutely despise. Him and Reinsdorf are the two owners that I dislike the most. And with the A's owner being right after those two. Because they're so selfish. And with Reinsdorf, with Kendricks, it's not even about the money. It's about preserving, not having to spend much to have a product.
Yep.
We're gonna see Eugenio Suarez, Ketel Marte, and Zach Gallen, arguably the three highest paid players on that team, gone.
Yep. No
The
question.
Backs really aren't that far from being a competitive team again. They're really not. Got some youth that they need to work out. But outside of that, like they're not that far off from being competitive again. And they're going to dump three of their best players. Yep. Gallen, there's arguments on Gallen because his pitching has been diminishing, and it may just be time for him to get a new environment anyway. And I've performed better since I left Arizona too. Just ask my boss.
I laughed so hard I dropped my earpiece.
There's sometimes like I get it, but Ketel Marte's been playing great.
Yes, he has.
Eugenio Suarez has been playing great. Josh Naylor is another one that's probably not going to stay for the entire season in Arizona. He's probably going to get traded too.
Yep.
Hitting over 300. They don't want to have to pay him more.
Nope.
Yeah, Josh Naylor's probably another one that's going to be gone. And it baffles me. Now, at least for the sake of the airplane that has to carry around the Jays, we know he's not going to Toronto. Could you imagine in one airplane having to deal with Alejandro Kirk, Vladdy Guerrero Jr.? They've got a few big boys there. And then you add in Naylor. That's like they'd have to sit on separate parts of the plane just to make sure you got even weight distribution. Talented guys. Don't get me wrong. But there's a couple of Golden Corrals in Arizona that have Josh Naylor's picture up next to the registers. Do not admit.
I was going to say they are the poster boys for the term hungry.
No, you're 100% correct. And but it definitely frustrates me that they haven't been able to get it right. And they should. but Ken Kendricks doesn't want to spend the money. Arizona puts support behind that team. Like the fans in Arizona support that team.
They're really good fans.
They have a great fan base.
Yeah.
And when you look at not this one. That's not the one I wanted. That's the one. When you look at the just when you look at it, it's Ken Kendricks, and like as a person and some of the stuff that he's done in Arizona, there are so many stories about him just being a complete dick to people, and I lose respect for anybody the instant they say, "Do you know who I am?" Clearly,
How
nobody.
insecure do you have to be to force an opposing fan to wear your stupid gopher snake gear because the fan is on camera? How insecure do you got to be?
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, what a dick.
He is a dick, and he's going to be one of the ones when we're dealing with the CBA. He's going to be one of the ones that is trying to make things even worse for the players, and is going to be one of the reasons why the lockout happens. I guarantee it.
Yep, guarantee it. Yep,
it's owners like him are bad for baseball.
Yep.
Him, Reinsdorf, the nutsack that owns the A's, they're bad for baseball. I've been trying to keep an eye on tonight's Dodgers game. Dodgers are playing the White Sox. They're currently up 2-1 at the end of the second inning. Clayton Kershaw is only 3 strikeouts away from 3,000, and he has gotten no strikeouts tonight.
Oh, God. Poor Erika.
You get the chance to get your 3,000 strikeouts. And your last 3.
Are they home?
Yeah, they're at home.
God. Oh, God.
They are at home against the White Sox. He's already given up 1 earned run because it's an earned run, so it wasn't like off of a fielding error or anything.
Yeah.
3 hits in the two innings. No strikeouts. He's thrown 39 pitches up to this point. 27 of them were strikes. So, I mean, he's trying to get it in the zone, but at the same time, he's not getting the swing and miss.
This Giants fan's rooting for him because he was good. As much as I despised him when he played my Giants because he just killed us, he's a good guy. He's been very good for baseball.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's got some great off-season charities that he support. Him and his wife support. He's a good man.
Yeah.
The injury bug has bitten him bad. Let's see him get his 3,000 strikeouts. Let's do that. I mean, he's been good for baseball. I hate his guts when he plays the Giants, though. I mean, he frustrates me.
And that's the thing is as a team, when you realize you're going to have to face Kershaw, you have to circle that game.
Yep.
Because you're like. But the frustrating thing is when for anybody that is a Dodgers fan, is despite the greatness of Clayton Kershaw, because we can all admit that there is supreme greatness in his arm. Which Clayton Kershaw are you going to get on the mound?
Yep, good question.
Clayton Kershaw should not be dealing with only a 1-run lead in the top of the 3rd inning against the freaking White Sox. He just shouldn't.
Yep. Nope.
I mean, does he need to have who's that he roomed with in college? I think it was somebody a football player he roomed with in college that Joe Buck used to talk about all the time. Was it Matt Stafford? Does Matt Stafford need to come slap some sense into him or something? I mean, Matt Stafford's wife's made it clear she'd bang his friends just to make him mad. Does she need to go give one to Kershaw just to get his energy back into him?
Tony.
No. She's the one that went public with that story. Don't throw me. No. She's the one that talked about it first. So it's fair game at that point. Now, if somebody else told that story, you know what? Hey, it was in college. We all made dumb decisions in college. But if you call yourself out in a story, I'm sorry, but that's just fair game for me. Personally. But no, like, yeah, I do respect Clayton Kershaw. I really do. And he's already given up another hit. Like, what is he? I wish that we could stream this game. Like, I wish that we didn't have to work hard. I wish. If you're wanting to watch this game, it's MLB Network. For those of you that want to watch it, if you want to watch it, if you have access to MLB Network, it's there. He's not locating. Is he trying to force it? Like, is that? Oh, there it is. Full count. Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it?
Gonna walk him.
I'm going to laugh if he walks him. I'm going to laugh so hard if he walks him. I will laugh hysterically if that happens. Come on. So what's that next pitch? Well, that's that next pitch.
Walk.
6th pitch of the at bat, and it's Austin Slater, by the way, who's not exactly turning heads with his abilities in left field. Come on, what do you got? Come on, show me. I want to see it.
Riveting podcast.
He gave up a home run.
A home run.
Chicago White Sox should now up on the Dodgers 3-2. Oh my God.
That's a shame.
Oh my God. Clayton Kershaw's never going to be Mr. 3000. This is great. Oh shit. Okay. What else?
Erika's gonna have her balls, you know.
She's gonna yell at me for this. I know she is.
She's gonna have her balls.
She is. I mean, we'll get lucky and she'll forget to watch the show. Like, that would be. That would be ideal.
My Giants are ahead 3-0 now.
Yeah, Giants are up 3-0 on the D-backs. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Lost the first 2 games in that series. You guys gotta figure that out. And I was looking. I want to look.
And nobody cares. Nobody cares.
It's because Raffy Devers.
Oh no! Don't do it.
I've got to see what it is.
Oh.
204 since going to the Giants. Raffy Devers is hitting 204, 11 hits, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and 4 runs scored in 14 games. Now, I hope people understand why there was shock with the loss of Raffy Devers, but I was not mad. And then when I found out that we didn't have to worry about the weight of that contract anymore, like, that by itself is a mark on the positive for Craig Breslow that he made that happen. To just get rid of that.
How many hits has he got so far?
11 hits in 14 games.
Divided by $250 million. Yeah, what a bargain. What a bargain.
Oh my God. Oh, that's great. Looking at the rest of the league, games currently going right now. The Cubs are up on the Guardians 5-3 in the at the end of the 8th inning. Astros are up on the Rockies at the end of the 7th, 5-2. Royals are beating the Mariners right now on the top of the 5th, 1-0. So definitely some good games going on. Now, standings wise, like I said, the Yankees and the Jays are currently tied for the division. Right now, the Jays do have, because of the fact that the Jays have beaten the Yankees in more games, the Jays do technically have the tiebreaker. They are 7-3 in their last 10. Tampa's only a half game out of that slot right now as well. So, and that's after they beat the A's today 6-5. Detroit still a very clear favorite, top of the league. They have 3 more wins than anybody else in the American League. The Dodgers have the same number of wins, 54, but Detroit has actually, let me see. So the Dodgers actually, the Dodgers by win percentage are the best team in baseball right now. Obviously, if they can't beat the White Sox, though, a lot of people are going to be questioning that one. But the Tigers, even with all the issues they've had with injuries this year, I had somebody say compare them to the Rangers in 22, and I think it's a pretty accurate comparison. If you ask
That's
me.
an excellent. Whoever said that, bravo. That's excellent.
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree. Astros have taken over the West, which I predicted. I said was going to happen, and I think that, just like always, the Mariners have at the front. The Astros wake up in June and start playing baseball. Mets are 3-7 in their last 10. Phillies have a 2-game lead in the division right now in the National League East. Braves are 11 games out of that division, 4-6 in their last 10. Start trading away assets, Braves. Send Spencer Strider to Boston. I would love that. I would love to just look down at my phone. The Atlanta Braves traded Spencer Strider to the Boston Red Sox. That would be the one trade where if I lost Jaron Duran, because I don't want Boston to trade Jaron Duran, but that would be the one if I looked at my phone and we got Spencer Strider, but I lost Duran, I would be more accepting of the fact that we lost Duran. I don't think it's going to happen. In fact, I'm certain it's not. But you know what? Heck, I can dream. Cubs, still one of the best teams in baseball. If you're sleeping on the Cubs, you're missing out. The Cubs have the highest run differential in baseball. They are scoring points and keeping other teams from scoring. That's what you want in a team that's going to be a contender. I as of right now, I think it's the Cubs and the Dodgers in the NLCS.
I do too.
Shocking thing that I just saw.
Kershaw struck out somebody?
I hadn't even looked. The longest win streak right now in baseball. Oh, by the way, the White Sox scored again. It is now 4-2. The Pirates actually have the longest win streak right now in the league. It's 6 wins, 6 straight wins. The real question with the Pirates, though, is how long is Paul Skeens going to be there before somebody trades him? Before they trade him to somebody?
Oh yeah,
it's only, and I hope he gets out of there soon, honestly, because I don't want his confidence and I want his abilities tanked because he loses faith because of the riffraff that's around him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Good point.
Somebody needs to get him soon because it's like if Boston made a play for him, that's another pitcher that I wouldn't mind seeing in a Red Sox uniform. You can devote some money to that kid, sign him, lock him in now. If you can sign Christian Campbell 3 games into his rookie season, you can throw some money at Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
Realistically, that's not to knock Christian Campbell. I absolutely support the fact that they gave him money, even though they had to send him back down because he's got some stuff to fix. He's a rookie. All rookies have stuff to fix.
Yep.
But you can throw you can lock Skeens in now.
Yep.
Absolutely. Especially like if it's a team like the Red Sox, the Dodgers, the Yankees, one of the perennial big programs, you should absolutely be throwing $300 to $500 million at Paul Skeens right now. I mean 300. Yeah. I think 300 is fair. You get him, especially if you get him for like you do it at like 6-7 years, 300 million. That's worth it.
Yeah,
that's worth it. You throw a club option in there after like if you say let's see you do 6 years, 4th year you have a club option, 5th year you have a player option. That's fine. You'll be all right.
Live with that.
Yeah, it's especially for a guy like Skeens. And how have the Tigers not locked Skubal into a long-term deal yet? I get that he's a rookie as well, but that's an arm that's not going away. If we're gonna have a trend, because Boston's not the only team that's doing it, we're gonna have a trend where we're gonna get rookies signed to deals early. Well, it's still gonna be cheap enough to do. Detroit should be throwing. That's another player. $300 million. Because they're still going to have to run out their rookie deal. That's just going to be added on to the end of where they're at. You're going to skip the arbitration years. You don't have to deal with that argument. Do it. Absolutely do it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's cheaper. Because the more that you see guys like Skeens and Skubal and some of these other hot young pitchers build up their stats and their abilities, it's only going to get more expensive.
Oh yeah.
So my question is why are you not doing it now?
Yep. I'm giving you riveting replies, aren't I?
You're conversational as fuck tonight. It's great. But no, it's going to be interesting to see how things happen. Next week, we are going to be right up against. Actually, next week the All-Star game is on Tuesday. Home Run Derby's on Monday. All-Star game's on Tuesday. So, do we want to do an episode next week? What do you think? Take the week off, come back right before the deadline.
Sure.
Things will be moving. Yeah. So next week, since it's the All-Star break, we're going to take a little bit of an All-Star break ourselves, give ourselves an All-Star rest, and then we'll be back at it on the 16th of July. Erika should be back with us by then, hopefully with some AUSL news. They are currently on break until next week. So keep an eye on that. I will be posting the morning minutes more frequently. Just had a lot going on. Tried to still post some funny stuff. I don't know if you saw. I got yelled at by some people on TikTok the other day because I was in Walmart. They have sell Funkos at Walmart now. It was a Steph Curry and a Michael Jordan Funko right next to each other. And I said, which one should I get, the GOAT or Michael Jordan? And for some reason, a bunch of Jordan fans were really offended by that. And I don't know why. I talked to another one about the fact that, and you may know this, but Lamar Hunt was actually one of the founding investors of the Chicago Bulls. And the Hunt family still owns a minority stake in the Chicago Bulls to this day. So that means that the Hunt family has more basketball championship rings than LeBron James. and I made a TikTok video saying that, and like I went to bed, it had like 100 views. Within 24 hours, it was flirting with 1,000,000, and I was like, "What?" Apparently, some LeBron fans, some what do they call them, bronzexuals, were a little perturbed by that. I don't know why. I don't know.
I told you you need to do any nudity to do your posts.
I think tomorrow I'm just going to trash on Aaron Judge. I'm gonna see. Let's see how many Yankees fans call them New York sexuals. It's like getting fucked by the Yankees organization every time they go buy a ticket. See if I can anger the New York sexuals tomorrow. The Judgians. Why not? Those of you that have been watching, we appreciate you. If you happen to be listening on Spotify, we appreciate you as well. Make sure to share with your friends. Definitely get to check out Wire2Wire Sports on all of their channels. If you're seeing this here, you can see Wire2Wire Sports on their show. Wire2Wire Sports shows on this channel. I will be back Monday night for Sports Report podcast named Deferred. Will be off next week. We will come back July 16th, 10 p.m. Eastern. The whole crew should be here. Craig, any final thoughts before we close up tonight?
One. We lost the Cobra, Dave Parker.
Oh, and I can't believe we forgot to mention that.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to be covering the A's back when he was playing, and he was a gentle giant in the clubhouse. He was just a gentle giant, a kind. Always had time for the younger players. Just a damn shame that he is gone before he takes his place in the Hall of Fame. Just a damn shame. I'm sorry. I feel bad for Pirates fans. You guys lost a great player recently, and I feel your sadness.
Why did it take so long to get him into the Hall of Fame?
Little thing called cocaine.
Oh. That'll happen. Especially have to spend a bunch of time in Pittsburgh. It's probably one of the only fun things to do in Pittsburgh.
Now, what did you do for? I just was kind to the Pittsburgh Pirates fans, and you just pissed all over them. Come on.
That's the thing though. You're the like with the Sour Patch Kids. You're the sweet. I'm the sour. Like that's the way it goes. And plus, I just can't stand the city of Pittsburgh.
I tried Pittsburgh. I tried. I'm sorry.
No, Pittsburgh fans. Seriously, I do feel bad. I do think that the Cobra should have been in the Hall of Fame soon.
Yeah,
but definitely a huge loss for baseball. He was a great guy, talented player. If you get a chance, just go onto YouTube and search clips for his highlights because his highlight reels are fantastic. Amazingly talented player. A guy that was great for baseball. And apparently drug dealers, but all around good guy. Hey, listen.
The following comments are Tony's comments only. Do not reflect the comments of Craig Newton.
I'm all about supporting small business, man. That's all I'm going to say. There's not a knock on him.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, before I get myself into more trouble, everybody, thank you so much for checking out the show this week. We will see you back in 2 weeks. Don't forget, you can catch me Monday night on the Sports Report podcast. Definitely support all Wire2Wire Sports channels. We appreciate them. They are the reason we get to continue to do this on a great platform. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.
Night, everybody.